With my boobies hanging to my belly button?
I love it. Save it for the post show.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast.
Hey, it's Mike.
With Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 152 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we're joined by one of the crowd favorites and one of our closest buddies. Straight from the tough, mean, and regal streets of Massachusetts. Oh, he can dance, he can jive, having a time of his life. Oh, see that girl, watch that scene. He is a dancing queen. Lee from Regal Street is here.
What is up, fellas? Thanks for having me. It is an honor.
Here's Lee.
I got outvoted. Don't thank me.
What's going on, dude?
How we doing?
We're doing good. You know why we're doing good? Dan, you want to tell me why we're doing good?
Let me tell you why we're doing good, because we have amazing patrons. We didn't get any new ones this week, but I still want to thank all our VIP patrons, and that is Alexander Copa-Johns, Bill Burkle, Daniel Bryson, Jake Miller of A Sweet Shop, Justin from Calvary Customs, Christian Tung, Malcolm at Bossanova Woodworks, Matt Maynard from Patriotic Pines, Max and Mindy Coons from Stubby K Studio, Melinda Coons, I wonder if they're related, Michael Flickinger, Mike Lighton, Scott Holland from Elevated Wood Design, Square Splinter, and Steve Iadarola. I may not have butchered that one, maybe. I don't know. I feel good about it, though. Anyway, that's our patrons.
Thanks,
awesome
guys.
Today. And obviously, thank everybody that supports us.
Thank you, all the patrons.
We love you all. We really do.
And if you want to sign up, go to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop and help us continue making the show.
And making dreams come true.
Because this is our dream to do this every Thursday.
Oh, this is your dream? Oh, man.
Set the bar low. You'll never be disappointed.
That's what my mom always told me. Set the bar low, honey. You don't want to.
Yeah. So speaking of setting the bar low, I'm kidding. Yes, I got the spit take from Dan.
I was taking a drink. You can't do that.
So Lee from Regal Street is with us today. And if you don't know Lee, you've been living under a rock, because he has grown to fame with his sexylicious dance moves, and also getting banned from construction sites with a camera
all over the East Coast, from what I understand.
Because he would basically record these awesome little lip syncing sessions with guitars made of conduit and drums made of buckets, banging on a trash can, hanging on a street lamp, like good old Doug. So Lee, who are you? Tell us about yourself and tell us why you dance.
Give us the history of Lee.
Give us the elevator pitch.
Well, I'm an electrician by day. I started woodworking.
Batman by night.
Started woodworking right around, coincidentally, right before COVID, and then I kind of hit the lottery. Not hit the lottery, but kind of struck gold when joined Instagram.
When you met us, yep.
Yeah. But it was the perfect storm, getting into everything and jumping on Instagram, and everybody was home and on their phones, and just I got into it, and basically just
the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah.
Awesome.
What was your inspiration for starting the Friday dances? Because I know that has taken off. It's got a crowd of its own, I think.
It started with a stupid, we were at work one day, we were sitting there having lunch, scrolling through TikTok like you do, and one popped up that the banging on the guy was doing like a Blue Man Group style video, and me and my apprentice remixed it, and that was on a Friday, and it was like, we should do this every Friday. And it literally just snowballed from there.
I think he's the instigator here.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
He's been in it since the beginning.
He has. And I miss him. We're not on the same job anymore. I'm trying like hell to get him over with me, but He's needed where he's at. He's still at the airport where
What a
we
crazy
all
way to get
started.
fired.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 years straight. In May, we'll be at 2 years. Haven't
And
missed a week.
you haven't missed a Friday, right?
Have not
I
missed
don't
a
think
Friday.
he's missed a Friday.
Wow.
Nope.
Damn. You've had some collab videos too.
We've had some fun collabs. Yeah, I like doing those, getting everybody involved. It's fun.
And like you're talking about the beginning of COVID and stuff. Like we all met then. Like we all met on what, Clubhouse, right? We may have actually been following each other already before that, but like we all met when we were like sub 1,000 followers on Instagram. Yeah. We're all pretty small. Dan and I didn't know each other. We didn't, whatever. He was in Nebraska, I was in Poland. So, but like, I think we were both following Lee at the time. So it's crazy that like we met and then now we're still buddies. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm pretty sure I started following Lee when I was sub 5,000 followers or something like that.
Yeah.
And now you guys are both like over like 200K and I'm still.
No,
Pete just crossed over 100,000.
I know he did. I was very proud of him. I texted him.
This guy. Too bad Instagram's going to get banned. I don't know if you heard the news or not.
At least I don't waste my time on TikTok like you, Dan.
I haven't posted anything over there since all that talk started. I'm like, what's the point? I'm not.
What's the point? In this economy?
It's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And what a lot of people, I guess, don't know about you too is like for most of your woodworking career, you worked out of like a shoebox.
Basically.
I was in a 10 by 16 foot shed. I started in my garage, and that
a foot shed, so it was a shoebox.
That quickly, my wife quickly kicked me out of the garage, which was attached to the house, and all the dust started flowing into the house, and she's like, "That's it." So I built a lean-to on the side of my shed, moved all the lawn stuff in there, and moved what little woodworking tools I did have. Yeah. So, but it was nice. I kind of miss the smaller shop because now I feel like things are too spread out. I have to walk.
What, now you have to walk?
I have to walk all the way across the shop to get
poor you. Poor you. Let's talk about the real problem here, okay? You are Regal Street Wood Shop. You don't live on Regal Street anymore. You're basically a fraud.
Also, you do metal work.
You know, I don't want all my fans to just show up out of the blue, you know. When I was,
you want them to go some other poor sap's house on Regal Street?
Absolutely.
Hey, which one of you is Regal?
Why are all these people showing up at my house?
There would be a line of cars every night driving down Regal Street trying to find the shop. And now I live in anonymity, and it's beautiful.
I'm imagining like the Warriors or whatever. They're just driving around in cars, like banging bats against the side of the car.
They're actually they use hand planes.
Come out and play!
They use hand planes.
Just got, instead of shivs, they got chisels, but they're all dull.
Yeah, exactly.
Chisels these on concrete.
But Pete hinted at something. You've been tampering or
tinkering
with
tambourine
other things other than woodworking, right?
I've started restoring a little bit of metalwork. You know, I grabbed an old drill press that I'm making my vice stand. That's been fun to kind of, you know, grind off all the old paint and chip away at it.
Is that something
you said? Fun and then grind paint. I don't understand.
It's actually very satisfying.
Is that something that come about because you have a bigger space now?
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, I've always liked, you know, tools. You know, who doesn't like tools?
I mean, you like Pete, so that makes sense.
That's true. There's something special about it, like an old vintage tool. You know, when you strip it down, it's all cast iron, and you think about the history of it. It's just fun to.
You've been hanging out way too much with Lucas.
I have, and I blame him, and my wife blames him 100%.
I saw you buy a base for a mill, right? And I'm
the drill press. That's what it was
for a drill press. Yeah, because it's right behind you, and I saw you buy the base, and I'm like, where's the rest of it? And then I'm like, he's been hanging out with Lucas too much. He's buying parts for machines he doesn't even have.
Well, it's
one day you'll have the whole machine.
It's to put the vise that he restored for me on. So it is 100% his fault.
Dang it. He's got that way with people and machines.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he gets all that stuff in his basement.
I know. Yeah. He's a magician.
Jeez. So now, how long you've been in your new shop?
We moved here in November, the end of October, beginning of November. So
Honestly,
still
feels like
getting
you've
used
just
to
been there
it.
for a while, like a
Yeah.
long while.
Is it
I mean-
is it cooled? Do you have AC in there?
Not yet. I think
Oh,
I'm gonna get a
it'll be a fun
split unit
summer.
for in here. Yeah, I know. I probably end up just grabbing one of those little portable units and throwing it in.
You have a
I
window?
gotta insulate. I have windows, but they're like the tall vertical windows
Mm.
that slide left or right. They're not like a regular window. You can
The European
toss a
windows.
window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those damn Europeans.
So do you
Doesn't
need me
work.
to come over there and help you with electrical?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
There's wires hanging all over the place.
I'll see if I can pencil you in. We can probably
All
make that happen.
I appreciate
Because
it.
when we bought our house,
I will
Lee-
give you my CNC if you come help.
Yeah. So fun story. The first time I met Lee in person is we were like talking for a while. Emma and Danielle, his wife, became friends as well, and we're all just chatting one day. And I was like, "Hey, I'm moving into this new shop. How about this?" 'Cause I kept telling him, and Danielle kept yelling at me that like he's a CNC, and she'd be like, "Shut up, Peter."
Oh, that's right. That's
Screaming at
right.
me. So I was like, "How about this? You guys come out for the weekend. You strangers that we've never met that could murder us. Why don't you guys come out, stay in our house, maybe murder us? Help me run all the electrical. I'll buy all the stuff and whatnot. You just help me wire it up, and I'll pay you in one CNC." And he went, "Okay." And
That
then
was your
that's how we met.
old X carve?
No, that was my
Shapeoko?
old Shapeoko.
Shapeoko.
Yeah,
Shapeoko.
which Lee still has.
Yep.
Yeah, he just recently got a new router for it for no reason.
For no reason at all. Yep.
The brushes died, and I gave him extra brushes, and he didn't know.
The craziest part, I had just run a 3-hour carve, and simultaneously
3-hour carve.
the second the carve was done, the bit lifted off the workpiece. Like 5 seconds before that, I look at my wife and I'm like, "That sounds weird." As soon as it lifted off, the router died. The brushes gave way. Like it needed the tension from the workpiece to keep going.
Yeah,
And it held on for me to the very end.
it's just like the final, like
It was like I couldn't have planned it any better. But
I've done my
so
work,
I jumped the gun and I ordered a Makita. But
which is probably the better option.
and
I
then
mean,
Pete said, "Hey, dummy, I gave you the brushes."
At least they're fairly cheap. I mean, those little Makita
Well,
routers,
the
right?
good
You
thing
got
is,
the Makita 1701-06 or something like that.
Something
Weird
like
flex.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like $100 on Amazon
Yeah.
or whatever. But the base for it actually fits the carbide router perfectly. So now I have an extra trim router. So
Nice.
it worked out.
Oh, okay. So you still got. you're
yeah,
still
the
using-
base fits right in. They're a match. So
I'm on
And
my third or fourth Makita router because
Yeah,
the
you're running
Onefinity uses the same router. I recently gave all the bases to another local woodworker because he was like, I
Oh, that's
actually
right,
use
they all
that.
come with bases.
I actually use that router, and it would be cool if I had a couple extra bases. I'm like, take them. They're yours, man.
Right.
yeah,
Well, it's all about that base, right?
Mm.
that's right.
Yeah, no trouble. Awesome, dude. Well, let's why don't we just jump into what's on our bench? How you guys feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
I'll allow it.
Are you okay? All right. Well,
Did you play the music? It cut out.
Let's try it again.
What's on my bench?
There you go.
Oh, okay. There it is.
There it is. Okay, because he needs to
Yeah.
write it down. So Dan, since you're writing, Lee, what's on your bench? What are you working on this week/month? Because you don't do this weekly with us.
Well, I'm in a bit of a lull actually. So I finally have time to work on the project for the family member that wanted that, when you have time, will you make
Oh,
this for me? One
I
of
never
those.
have time.
So of course it's for mom. She wants a wagon for her garden. And she sent me lots of specific pictures that she wants. So I'm taking as much of the scrap wood I have up in the attic and just piecemealing this thing together with all the scraps I have.
Is this going to be an actual usable wagon, or is it more decoration?
It's gonna be a decoration for her, but I'm gonna have fun with it and use it as practice for something, down the road.
Or
Try
something
and
nicer.
because like the wheels, right? The wheels itself, like I'm I've watched all the YouTube videos on how to make a wooden wheel, like a wagon wheel. So I'm trying to make like a smaller version of like an actual wagon wheel, making the spindles, making all the axles.
Are there a lot of YouTube videos on that? I've never searched for that.
There's enough.
Ancient Roman construction on YouTube.
There's enough. So that's what I'm working on now. It's fun. I drew up a circle and Vetric and divided into 4 pieces so I can actually cut 4 pieces, and made splines and gluing them all together and making a circle out of a 4 by 20-inch board, cutting multiple pieces so I can spline them together, which is actually how they make them on a larger scale. And next up will be the spindles. I can maybe hop on the lathe and make my own dowels for. And yeah, I haven't used the lathe that much since I've been in the new shop, so that'll be fun.
Dan, you want to tell him, or should I tell him that they sell those?
No, I know. I don't want to break his heart.
I know they sell them.
They also sell wagons, Lee.
Listen, I scoured Facebook Marketplace for one of these things before I agreed to build it.
Just get a gorilla cart.
Wow, Lee, you made this? Yeah.
Mom's very particular.
She's an Ohman.
Yeah, that's true.
So what else are you working on? Anything else?
That and stripping down this old drill press to doing the little.
Got me all excited when you started saying stripping, but never mind.
That's been a fun process. Just kind of stripping layers. Like the press I have, the base that I have was from 1893.
Whoa!
So
the year?
It's
the year of our Lord.
It's got a lot of paint. It's probably all lead and asbestos. That's all gone now.
So you railed it like.
Yeah, pretty much.
That makes you stronger.
Yeah. So.
And when are you getting the vise?
I have the vise.
Oh, you have it already.
That's I stare at it and I'm afraid to use it because.
From what I know of Lee, he's got lots of vices.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah, estrogas.
I got more of those. Stay tuned.
Keep them coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, what's up with you?
Well,
if you say Etsy orders, so help.
What else am I gonna say?
Wait. Let me guess.
C tables.
C tables, Etsy orders.
Okay, so
the walnut desk.
No, I delivered that a while back, Lee. I don't know. You haven't listened in a while.
I guess I haven't listened for a while.
At like episode 30.
No, but I am gonna start making a walnut table here pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah, Etsy always keeping me busy, boys and girls. So a week on Etsy is about anywhere between 50 and 75 orders for me. So that always keeps me really busy. And I would say about 85% of them these days are inserts. So they're still coming in hot, which is great. I'm super grateful. Excuse me.
You've really dove into the Etsy world.
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. Yeah. I know Etsy's not for everybody, but you know what?
It's impressive.
Doing well.
Like,
so
I remember not too long ago you didn't do Etsy at all, and now it's just like that's all you've been doing. It's awesome.
So yeah, speaking of that, since I've had Isaiah in the shop helping me, which has been great, he's been working on all the orders, and I've been working on new products. So we've said this before on the podcast. It's one of Pete's famous lines: is always be listing.
ABL.
So I'm trying to keep my Etsy store alive and with new products, and with Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up, I'm making some new products for that. I'm trying to make a new revision of like the C table that I make. The C table that I've sold a bunch of. I mean, it's just 3 pieces of wood finger jointed together. It's a nice heavy duty little table, but it's pretty basic in the design. So I thought I'd kind of juge it up a little bit and see if I could get something else going. And that's still a little work in progress. I've shared pictures of it with Pete. Actually, I think I posted something on my IG. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. And it's on Facebook too. Yep.
How is it shipping those, Dan? You ship those assembled, right?
Yeah, I ship them assembled.
I mean,
it's much better now.
I got it size box, right?
It's I put them in. So I have a standard size, and then I also have a size that people can like make it taller, make it wider, whatever. But the standard size box is 24 by 20 by 14.
Wow.
And it cost me about $35 to $45 to ship it anywhere in the contingent 48. However,
That's cheap.
Yeah, it's not bad with pirate ship. However, I got an order.
US?
Yeah, in the contingent 48.
48?
The contingent 48, not including Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay. That sounds wrong, but I'm probably wrong.
You've never heard that before?
No, I've heard continental US or
contingent.
I'm gonna Bing it now.
Okay, you Bing it.
Keep talking.
But anyways, I got an order for one of those tables from somebody in the North Pole, Alaska. That's a freaking city in Alaska.
The North Pole's a real place.
North Pole is a real city in Alaska, you guys.
No
wait. You got a request for what?
Santa ordered one of your tables.
One of those sea tables is going to North Pole, Alaska.
I got an order to Alaska the other day, but it was some like town that I had trouble pronouncing, and it's like above the Arctic Circle. I was like, what?
I'm pretty sure this is above the Arctic Circle too, because I checked the rates on pirate ship for it because I know how much
it's
the
still
box.
The same, right?
No, it's $135.
Oh,
they're really
oh
like, yeah. I got bent over on that one. I did not see that coming. Anyway, yeah, that's been my week. Are you still looking up contingent 48?
No. I was trying to look up where I was shipping this week because I
shipped something to Juneau last week too.
Like I got the location. I'm like, oh, Alaska. I wonder where this is at. And I just like typed it in on a map. Oh no, I didn't even type it in. In Pirate Ship, you know how it shows you the preview of where it's going? Yeah. Uh-huh. And I was like, why is that in Russia? Why is that so high up?
I can see Russia from my house.
It's going like straight across Canada. It wasn't even like, oh, into like Anchorage. No, like where they film all the shows where all the people are sad and there's never daylight. That one where they're like, oh yeah, milk's $27 at the store and they have to fly it in once a month. Like those places.
Yeah. Anyway,
fun.
that's my week today.
That's a heck of a
week this week.
That's a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I was being shipped to Utquagvik.
No, that's not a real place. You're lying.
It's Russia.
Like the tip. Yeah, the tip of
yeah, it's way up on the tip.
This is great for our audio listeners. This is why you should watch the YouTube channel. But yeah, Utquagvik. Yeah,
okay.
Dang it. It's a thing. Actually, Kamani immediately knew because he's from Alaska.
Of course he did.
Yeah, he did.
All right. Your turn.
My turn.
Talk about your week.
No, I don't want to talk about my week. Well, this is the part where Mike would play.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Oh, that's right. Dan has to put all of these in after I play them. You got it, Dan? Okay, cool. So my week is actually so a little bit of Etsy too. We threw up some Christmas.
Don't throw up.
So we made Christmas listings and then obviously we took them down after the holidays, after they kind of died off. But I put them back up because I had some people asking about it, and I actually ended up selling 2 Christmas tree items that were laser cut already. So this is just my first warning. Every year I warn everyone earlier. Christmas is coming. It's right around the corner. It's April. Away. It's only 8 months away, which means think about what you're going to be making.
Christmas 2027 is only 36 months away.
Carry the 2.
I don't know if that math is correct.
It's not. It's 3 years
I thought you were the math guy. Wait a minute.
If Christmas is in April in 3 years, then maybe. But no, so I ended up making the listing active because I was listening to somebody's podcast a couple weeks ago, and they're like, you should never deactivate holiday listings. Just keep them up all year round because you never know. And I'm like, I guess, yeah. And I was gonna activate these and forgot. And someone asked me about one of the items. And I'm like, yeah, sorry. I think it's just deactivated. Made it active. And then they bought one and someone else bought one. I was like, oh, okay. What's up, Dan?
Speaking of podcasts, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. I have to get this off of my brain right now. Otherwise I'll forget it. I was a guest on Sawdust Nation podcast. And it was
nice.
So if you want to hear me talk more about myself, you can go listen to that.
Josh and Nick,
right? It was Josh and Nick. Yeah. They have a third, but I don't think he was there. I was the third. All right, continue. Sorry.
I know how that feels.
Lee with the zingers.
Yeah, so working on some Etsy stuff. Emma and I have been also trying to knock out some like administrative stuff. Like today, she is this woman is just a godsend, honestly, because like I am crippled by like by inaction. Like I have to have everything perfect. I have to have 95% of the plan laid out before I can start. Meanwhile, we all know that like 95% of the problem is just starting. Like the first 10% is really where like you're getting most of your work done because you're getting motivated. And I like we got busy with the whole thing with Binks, and I kind of like let these emails that I started with some brands after WorkbenchCon kind of go by the wayside. They were all sitting on red and taunting me every single day. And we finally sat down, we wrote some emails, we got caught up on all this stuff, and we were able to like bang out all these emails. She proofread everything for me. We bounced ideas off of each other. Like she's getting more and more involved in what we're doing. And it's just awesome because like we sat down and we knocked out like 4 or 5 emails. And then after she left, I was all fired up. So I knocked out like another 3 or 4. It just felt really good because like I'm really bad about reaching out to brands. And, you know, I guess I should mention I hit 100K this week. Woo! So
yeah,
I'm coming for you, Dan and Mike. And
it's not going to be hard. I haven't moved in 5 months.
I know I hit 100 and it's just like trickling now. But so, you know, now especially hitting that milestone, like, you know, we do need to start thinking about this as like, we need to be bringing in more deals, more incomes. We need to talk to more brands. We got to figure this out because if we want to do this full time, if Emma wants to stay on, like we need to make money doing this, you know? And the print shop, 3D printing shop and other stuff is bringing in some money, but we'd like to make more than we were making. That's the goal, right? You want to be comfortable. So we're just building everything from scratch now, and having that extra support and someone who's like very administrative minded, like Emma, like has been just immensely helpful. So I really appreciate her. I think she listens to this. I don't know. So thanks, Em. Appreciate it. Aside from that, it's just been landscaping all week. You're
one of those guys, huh?
I'm one of those guys. Yeah. So fertilizing a lawn. I got a bunch of like pressure treated wood. I'm one of those guys that, like, I keep walking through the aisle of stuff that I have like projects in my mind, but I never like plan out. You know, I'm going around Home Depot and then I'll go like through the pressure treated wood section and look at like, oh, I could use this for that. This will be great for the garden beds. This will be great for this project. And then I never get it because I'm like, oh, I don't want to haul it now, whatever. So I finally was like, screw it. I'm going to get mulch. I'm going to get this. Let me just get all the lumber I need. So I bought a bunch of stuff. So we're going to be doing some garden boxes, some pergola stuff, some stuff for the garden. So I finally got all the material to the house, did a bunch of mulching, and thank goodness I knocked it out earlier in the week because it's been getting hotter every single day. It was about 89 degrees today. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little hotter too. And the nights are only dropping to like 65 right now. So it feels like summer already. Like, you know, we got like fall summer right now. So that's been my week. It's just been landscaping and administrative stuff. And exciting. I think that's it. And I got a new printer in last Friday. My Bamboo finally landed, and I still haven't unboxed it because it's been a kind of a busy week with all the other stuff going on. But I'm hoping to do some. Someone may have talked/forced me into doing a video on it.
Now, is that thing made out of actual bamboo or?
No, it's actually made of pandas, but it didn't do well at market research. So
gotcha. Bamboo. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, pandas endangered. They don't like to have sex. So.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for my week. Should we jump into some questions?
I guess.
Okay. So the first one is going to be from this person, and I'm definitely not stalling, and their name is Lonnie. Lonnie? Yes, Lonnie Miller. And I do believe this one cuts off a little early, so just a heads up.
Hey guys, Lonnie Miller here with Crosscut Custom Builds. So I got a question about French cleats. So I am planning on designing and building a line of wall-mounted products such as coffee mug shelves, etc. So my plan is doing French cleats to mount them, and I didn't know if that is a bad idea or a good idea. So my thought was, if I give the cleat that attached to the wall with clear instructions and even add screws. But I didn't know if it's a good idea or not, due to the fact that if something is light enough with the French cleat,
So this is where it cuts off. But I mean, the gist basically is he's making a line of wall-mounted shelves, like coffee mug shelves and stuff like that, and he wants to ship the item with the French cleat hardware, like make the French cleats and ship it and have the customer mount it. I mean, my answer is going to be don't do that. What you want to get is was cleat hardware, but not the French cleat. Like get a metal French cleat. You can get it fairly cheap. They're not really that expensive. You can get them at hardware stores.
And just adjust your price to
Amazon.
Absorb that cost.
And honestly,
for sure.
Probably wouldn't cost you that much per unit. So you could probably get a bundle of it. And even the cheap ones are going to be pretty strong. And something metal is going to definitely, I think, do a little better.
How much weight do you think those things are going to hold? I mean, you don't need...
It's not even the
hundreds
weight.
of pounds.
What I'm thinking is, French cleat, if there isn't, he mentions the weight but the lightness of it, like it being light, if you bump it, how many times have you knocked something off a French cleat wall because it's too light? I have all those, I have my fancy French cleat wall and I got all my planes and whatever.
Oh yeah, you need to have some heft for the French cleat to work well.
Just right or just wrong, it knocks off the holder off the wall. So I'm thinking those other mounts will be a little better at keeping it.
Yes, I 100% agree. Buy those metal French cleats you can get at the Home Depot or Menards or Lowe's or wherever you go, Ace Hardware.
Or Kmart. Yeah.
Kmart, Walmart.
Lee, do you have any other suggestions?
What I would recommend is not buying any extra hardware, but investing in a keyhole router bit.
That's a good.
Well, you don't make a jig, so they're all the same.
Make a jig, nice and easy. You can all they have to do is throw a screw in the wall. You can even give them a little template for the holes.
That's a great idea.
Like a send a video template of somebody using tape to put the line.
No, honestly, I think the printed template would be perfect.
Similar, a similar product that I make. I just use the keyhole bit, and I haven't had anybody have any issues with it. Rather than trying to buy other hardware and add on to, your bottom line and all that, just grab that bit, and that way it's a whole package, and you can just worry about sending the screws in.
You see, this is why we have Leon.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to, if you are set on sending more hardware with it, send them a screw and like a little drywall anchor or something like that.
Get a little get Ziploc bags. I actually do that with some of my 3D printed stuff. You get screws in a bag.
You can spend $10 on 100 of those anchors, and then they'll be all set.
Yep.
Yeah, great idea.
Good idea, Lee.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Big thoughts. Stonks. All right, Patrick Gensel.
Hey guys, Patrick Gensel here. So my first question is for Lee. When are we going to get a Friday music video cover of Pony by Genuine? I feel like the maker world deserves that. So my second question is for everyone, and that is, with the spring season upon us, what is everybody doing to get their workshops ready for the changing weather? I know for myself, I've flipped the ceiling fan from suck to blow, and I have closed off the damper for my wood stove and gave the shop a good sweep out. So I'm just wondering what everybody else's routine is when the seasons change. All right, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Dan?
I don't have a routine to change
the doors
anything
stay
over.
Open.
The doors are open all year long. The only thing that really changes in my shop is my attire. I mean, it's getting to the point where I need to break out the flip-flops. Flops in the shop, baby. You know what I'm talking about, Lee? What do you do? You do anything? You haven't even been in that new shop long enough.
Exactly. This is the first heat wave I've had in the new shop. So today I ripped off the plastic that you put over the windows to insulate it,
Okay, Grandpa.
Exactly.
This economy
to get rid of the drafts from the freezing cold outside. But I have a 2-car garage, so one of the doors I actually disconnected, and I'm using it as an extra wall space. And today I desperately wanted to open that and get more airflow in here. So that situation might change pretty quickly once it gets hot in here.
Confession, real quick, because you said draft. When I was a
Did you dodge it?
No. I had bone spurs. I didn't dodge it. No, when I was a kid, when my parents or my grandparents would talk about letting the drafts in, I thought they were talking about giraffes. And I was so confused. I was like, I didn't think there were giraffes around here. Like, anyway, whenever I hear that word, it pops into my head. Sorry. Go on.
Did your dad have?
Don't let the giraffes in, people.
Did your dad ever have to run errands, like a bunch of guys named Aaron outside?
No, he didn't have any friends. I gotta go run the errands. What?
Oh, and to address the pony question, I gotta keep in mind that my grandmother is my #1 fan, and she is the first one to see all these videos.
She likes.
That's so
pony.
So I gotta keep it. I've there's plenty of songs out there I've thought about doing.
Need to do some NWA for grandma, you know what I'm saying?
And then I've had to roll it
straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Straight out of Regal.
We keep it PG over here.
Yeah.
That's respectable, I guess.
Did you guys both go?
Yeah, I think so.
So
go now.
Well, he mentioned ceiling fans, and my first suggestion is get ceiling fans. Like, that's big because like, even when it's hot, when there's a breeze, it just makes everything better. So like,
have you seen the ceiling? Have you seen the ceiling in my shop?
Well, you can.
It's covered in pipes and
dodge it. You don't have to get the one with like a chandelier attached.
I want to get one of those big ass fans. That's the real company, people.
It is
cursing.
They're actually really funny. They're pretty funny on TikTok. You should check them out. And
they're local to me.
Are they really?
Yeah,
oh, no way.
They're a friend of a friend is the owner.
Really? Wow. Oh, look at you. Leech pistols everywhere.
I know the big ass guy.
They all grew up in Regal Street. I know Mr. Ass himself. So yeah, get ceiling fans. I think that's a great idea. There's something about like ceiling fans that's a little better than like having like a corner mounted one or setting up a box fan on top of something and gets knocked over. We all have that 2 foot by 2 foot box fan somewhere in our shop or somewhere in our basement. We all try to set it up. We knock that stupid thing over 1,000 times a day, like, or pull on a cord because they're only 4 feet for some reason, you know? So do yourself a favor, get a ceiling fan, get a licensed electrician and install it, you know, because it's definitely worth it. Or at the very least, get something that mounts on a wall up high, you know?
I don't have a ceiling fan, but last year I invested in a industrial grade oscillating fan. That thing is fantastic.
Don't move.
Loud.
It's
loud AF.
I have like an industrial grade oscillating fan in the corner of the shop up high.
They're loud suckers.
Yeah, they are loud.
They moves air though, man.
They work great and they move a lot of air. Yeah.
That's the nice thing about the box fan. It's pretty quiet. It does do that. If you have a window
to the wall,
throw in an AC unit. Get a you know, random wall, whatever. They're like $100 at Home Depot. You know, when they all start dropping in like May or something.
So the sweat drops down
till the AC drops down
walls.
Like I do it in the most trashy way ever. Like I live in a nice-ish neighborhood. Every house has central air, so no one has like window units. Where I grew up, like everyone had window units. That's just how you cooled the house because the houses were old. And my house is the one where like you look at the front of the house, it's a beautiful house, and then in one of the windows out of the garage sticks out a freaking window unit
with a 2x4 holding it up at an angle.
I'm cool. I make sure it's supported right. And it was a small boy for a while. Get something overpowered because a shop will get overheated, especially if you don't have good insulation in that shop. You need double what it's rated for. If it's rated
I have a window unit, but I never use it because the doors are always open.
You did for a little bit, I feel like.
I got the window unit just because Coffee and we were just talking about him a little bit ago. Rusty came over to my shop and helped me install the oh yeah, they came in August to Nebraska and helped me install the piping for my dust collector, and they were just complaining about the heat. And I'm like, this is not even that bad, you guys. The humidity's only 70%. Like,
that's pretty bad.
So I went out and bought an AC just for those guys.
Yeah, so get an AC unit, and I guess he didn't really ask us like what the recommendations are. It's just what we use. But like I got the AC unit, but since I moved in, I've been planning on a mini split. And usually in the winter, it's not too bad. I have the little heater that's in the corner. It actually keeps up with my shop, especially since I did insulation. Oh my God, what a difference. Like the shop never dropped below like 50 or 48 ever, which was amazing. So insulate your shop if you can. But I think this is the year. I may have dropped a line to some brands to see if we can maybe work something out. But even if we don't, I'm just gonna buy a mini split this year. Like I need one in the shop because the summers can get a little rough, and I'm tired of being that redneck house with the AC unit in front of a.
Oh, it's what gives you the charm, I think.
Character gives a character, yeah. But it'd be nice to have an actual, nice mini split and not have to worry about hooking up the heater. And I actually would regain a little bit of wall space above the laser. So that's gonna be my move this year because I'm not planning on leaving that space anytime soon. And worst case scenario, if we ever move the shop to a new place, I could pull that unit. It can be moved again. So there's that. And I already have the electrical run because a certain friend of mine helped me run everything to the right location. So I just need to run it outside. Thanks, Lee.
What an idea that was.
What an idea that was. Okay, so next question is from Malcolm of Bossanova Woodworks.
Hey guys, it's Malcolm from Bossanova Woodworks. This week, my question is probably one you've heard before, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you had no constraints, no commitments, no clients to worry about, no videos to worry about shooting, and money wasn't a problem, you could get into the shop, take your time, and build whatever you wanted. What is the one project that you would like to do? Okay, thanks.
Ooh. Lee?
I've said it a couple times before, I think, but I really want to build like a really nice. I grew up in my parents had this really big, bulky rocking chair, and it was like super comfortable. You like sat down in it. So I want to build like a nice, big boy rocking chair that I could just, kick my feet up, just relax and
have a glass of bourbon and a stogie.
Have a glass
big
of bourbon,
boy.
A big boy rocking chair.
Big boy.
That's nice.
Chair. I've done a couple chairs, but nothing crazy. Nothing like with that intricate or with any bends in it, or it's all the only ones I've done have been very square and perpendicular. Joinery.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something more intricate that I could take time with and explore all the different types of methods that are out there. Yeah. It's good to experiment.
It's good to experiment. I miss you, Alejandro.
What about you, Pete? Oh,
said it first and louder.
Fine. This is probably just because I've been watching a lot of Cam from Blacktail Studios videos lately. I don't know. His videos have just been really nice to watch. So I'd probably like to build a large, like super large, like Claro walnut live edge epoxy table a la Cam from Blacktail Studio. Those tables are so beautiful. And I know epoxy tables get hated on. I mean, even I've hated on them, but man, when they're done right, they're so beautiful. And I've literally never made an epoxy table of any kind. So I would actually kind of like to do that. Take my time, be methodical with all the intricacies of like a live edge slab and, fill in the holes. And just, if you've never watched one of Cam's videos, go do it. I would like to do that. But I would need a bigger shop for sure.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you would. So for me, I mean, I'm on the same page as you, Dan. If it was like the one project, I would probably do a river table because I've always wanted to do one, like a live edge, nice. Just do it for me. Not care about what anyone says. But so I actually took this question kind of like bigger. I was thinking like, well, what if money wasn't a problem? Not a money or content for this one project. I mean, just like tomorrow I'm retired, I have a pension or whatever. Like, and the reality is some of our listeners are in this position, whether they retired from military or some kind of service or police, or they have a pension or whatever, they retire and they literally don't need to worry about money or content because they have a steady paycheck coming in. And like, that is my dream. My dream is to have us like that steady enough of an income. Like, I don't need to be rich or whatever. I want to be able to, if I didn't have to make content, if money was taken care of, I would just continue doing exactly what I'm doing. I would tinker. I would fix things around the house. I would improve things on the house. I would, pick a room every couple of months and just like redo it from floor to ceiling. Like, I would just keep doing exactly what I'm doing because I finally am doing exactly what I want to do. I'm not doing commissions. I'm not doing, working on something over and over again or whatever. Like, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and this is exactly what I want to do, even if like money is no object. I can just keep playing in the shop and having fun and using those projects to maybe meet cool people and learn new things. So yeah, the dream, right? That's the dream. Well, speaking of the dream, my dream, whatever. Speaking of the dream, this one's in French.
French.
Hey guys, tonight I have a question about woodworking. Yep, it's been a while. I've been making a bunch of bottle openers, and as I don't have a CNC yet, I had to print myself a template, cut with a bandsaw, and then use a template bit on a router. The problem is that I have a lot of tear out. I only leave like 1 millimeter to half a mil on the bandsaw, so the router bit should not have a lot of work to do. I tried with a compression spiral bit and had like 4 or 5 scary catches. Then I tried a big cheap bit and surprisingly I had less catch and tear out. I thought compression bits were supposed to be better. Am I doing something wrong here? Thanks. Bye.
Dan?
I'm actually going to look at Thomas' page and see exactly what kind of bottle openers he's talking about. Because I'm wondering if when he's starting the routing process to flush trim, because he said he had some scary catches. Mm-hmm. Usually that happens when you try to start or plunge into the end grain. And I don't see any bottle openers on it.
Did he say if he had a router table or not?
So that was my first question. Too,
yeah, that's another good question.
Here's my personal thing with router tables, if I may jump in on this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love and I absolutely hate router tables.
They are the scariest machine in your shop.
Scariest freaking machine ever, because they will throw something across the room like nothing else and get your hand real close. And the smaller the object, my rule of thumb is literally save your thumbs. If it's small or if it's got a lot of curves and twists, bring the tool to the item. Don't bring the item to the tool, because you don't want to be finger effing the piece. Look, like when I have to do all
if you're doing a little bottle opener that's like this big, you don't see it in a podcast, but I'm holding my fingers up in a circle. Would you want to hand hold that with a router?
So there's cases where yes, that makes sense. Like you can use, press down with something and like clean it up real quick, but you're only cleaning it up. He's flush trimming against a template, and that could potentially still be removing a good amount of material. And especially on, like I was doing bottle openers and I was cleaning them all up with just putting them in like a little template that I held down, or put it down with some double stick tape, and like bring a handheld router around it, like a palm router, and clean it up instead of having this little piece, because he's probably hitting the end grain depending on what he's cutting out of. Because if he's cutting the bottle openers against the end grain, he's got a lot of edges of the grain to catch on. Yeah. If he's going with the grain, there's still some, but it's mostly going to be around the tip of each side of the
and to opener. Address something that he brought up, he said that he thought compression bits were easier to use and they prevented tear out. They just prevent tear out on the top and the bottom of the piece so that you get a cleaner cut. They don't necessarily prevent tear out like you would get on any router bit. They should work a little better, especially better than like a straight bit. If you were using a straight bit, they should definitely be better than that. But they're not 100% foolproof.
Yeah. It's just
Lee, you have
mostly
any
the
thoughts on
top and
this?
bottom layers that it's going to,
Yeah.
because it's preventing the chips from getting forced up or down.
Right.
But the actual edge itself, if you're
It's
catching
cutting inward on both sides, basically.
Yeah.
And think about the wood too. Is it tight grain? Is it loose, open grain?
Don't say loose grain when Lee's here.
I would say the biggest thing is getting as close as you can, taking as much as material as you can with the bandsaw.
In his defense, he did say he was getting
did.
within a millimeter, and that's pretty small from what I understand of metric.
What's that, like an inch?
Look down.
Yeah. No, I think a centimeter is an inch, a millimeter's
Okay.
quarter of an inch or something.
Maybe if he does have a router table, maybe he could try starting the cut with a pin, the router.
Yeah, the starting pin
The
for
starting
sure.
pin. That may help him out get that initial, because when I have those catches, it's usually when I first touch the bit.
Yep.
So that starter pin does help, and always use, obviously use those blocks to, when you're doing something small like that. Don't ever put your fingers near that bit. Like you said, it is pretty scary, but
Also, maybe an unpopular option, but instead of taking it to a router, if you're just getting it, that last final bit, take it to a disc sander.
Just sand it.
Just sand it to be almost right there. I think that get a I don't know if you have a belt sander, even just strap it upside down or sideways on a bench.
And again, we don't know what kind of bottle opener he's doing. Is he doing like a one with a magnet catch, like an 8x?
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining like what we've done, where it's CNC'd out of flat stock and you round over the edges, and he's trying to get it to be that roughly that shape. Because even when I take those things off to CNC, when I do my bottle openers, I pull them off to CNC, and there's some really rough edges to some of them. When it's catching the end grain there, and then maybe it moves a little bit on a tab. It's I just take that to the sander. So if you actually stack them, some of them are narrower, some of them are wider, depending on how much material I removed off the side.
And so when I'm cutting these wheels out, so I cut the pieces out of the CNC. I brought them over to the spindle sander, and I sometimes, as I had a bad catch. So what I did was I started the cut. I got one little bit flush so that router bit with the bearing wouldn't catch anything. The bearing is going to hit before the bit almost. And that way I can start with the bit spinning and then work the piece into the bit.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be going wrong potentially, but maybe do a story and tag us and show us what's happening. We'll be able to.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, awesome. Last one or next one is from Kimani of the Von Strayhorns.
Hey guys, I see Mike is off spending time with his other family. So Lee's here. So what up, Lee? Glad I got to finally meet you in person at Workbench. This question is going to be primarily for you, but the other guys can answer as well. So Lee, you pretty much got, the internet through quarantine with your, Friday music dance videos. And I know that helped a lot of the, the growth and stuff you were doing on Instagram. So with all the changes to Instagram and Facebook and, Reels bonuses and stuff like that, my question for you is, what is your favorite feel-good dessert? Okay, bye.
What he didn't include in that, but in another email is the second question, which is, and what do you see yourself doing with your content going forward? But let's start with the important one, dessert. Lee?
So my favorite dessert has to be Ben & Jerry's fish food ice cream. Fish food. It's got it's got little chocolate fishes in it with marshmallow and chocolate swirl, caramel. And you leave it, the key is leaving it on the counter for about 20 minutes, letting it soften up.
Okay.
And then
I'm taking notes.
Fish food.
Okay.
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
Eels.
Blind. All right. Dan, what's your feel-good dessert?
I love. Okay, and I'm probably gonna get. Oh, of course, he's from the Midwest.
Yeah, mayo on a stick.
Warm apple pie.
I love frozen mayo popsicles. No, I really like, and I hate this place other than this one thing. Village Inn French silk pie. If you don't have a Village Inn around you and you've never heard of it, you don't know.
French silk pie?
Yes.
French soaked pie?
Silk. S-I-L-K. French silk pie.
Can you describe this dessert to all of us commoners?
It's a chocolate pie, like a chocolate mousse, and there's French silk shavings on top of it. It's phenomenal. I love it.
Damn.
I will go there and just buy that pie. It's very good. Village Inn sucks. It's a chain.
It sounds much better than the soaked pie I was imagining.
So yeah, like
French soaked pie. Yeah, I just invite Thomas over and say,
like
soak that pie, would you?
That's leches. So, I am not a dessert person in any way, but there are two desserts that I just absolutely have zero control. First one is this babka thing. It's almost like you think of like monkey bread. It's like braided bread, but they put a bunch of like chocolate and other stuff in there, and it's just
I saw that on an episode of Seinfeld.
Yes.
I
not
did.
Holland, but like it's this thing, and they have it here kind of locally. It's one of Emma's students. The parents actually own the bakery, and it's effing dangerous. I will put away an entire thing, but the thing is like $50. Or like $30. Something like really ludicrous, like something where like you can't just like get one. Like, oh, I'm feeling silly. But like I would if I lived closer, it's dangerous. But if we're going like can get anytime, I literally cannot have these in the house because I will get like triple the fat that I am now. Just straight up like Cinnabons. Like the ones that come in a box that we all know, like the same company that makes all the crap, just Cinnabons. They're so soft, they just melt in your mouth, and I could put away a box in a sitting immediately, like impolite company, just shove them in my face. I have no control. Sorry, that's my like. It's not even a feel good. It's my guilty pleasure. I feel shame eating it.
But you don't stop.
But I don't.
I'm a dirty boy.
He's
shoving it in his face still,
crying. The tears make them softer.
I get that way with peanut butter, almost anything though. Like
really?
Yeah. Have you had the peanut butter filled pretzels?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Costco size. Like,
those things do not stand a chance in this.
I don't even like peanut butter. And
when my wife goes to the store,
exactly.
When my wife goes to the store, she has to buy a separate jar of peanut butter for me, like a large peanut butter jar, because I will eat it by the spoonful.
The sex jar and then the food jar.
Chunky or smooth?
Smooth, baby.
What?
Yes.
Smooth. I like smooth peanut butter.
Who are you?
Daniel Dunlap. You better recognize.
God.
He's from Nebraska.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Got to get with the super chunk.
Nope.
Super.
I don't like chunky peanut butter. I don't want it to be crunchy. Yeah, I eat peanut butter by the spoonful out of the jar. I love it. So I get my own jar.
Peanut butter.
I don't like peanut butter. Peanut butter pretzels. I can't stop eating them. Weird. I don't know.
They're on a different level.
So,
all right, now
Monty
the
had another
unimportant
question.
Yeah, the unimportant one.
Yeah.
Now that with Reels going away and the bonuses going away and like a lot of stuff changing and some of the stuff he didn't mention was like, a lot of people blew up over the last couple of months because Instagram's just kind of been inflating the growth and people have been engaging. Like it kind of diluted the like what brands are willing to pay some of the content creators because there were just a lot more content creators to choose from with them getting paid. So like what do you guys see yourself doing going forward with your content? So Lee, you changing anything up?
Well, he's got the clap now. So there's
got the clap. I'm on the clapper. Which we'll see what happens with that.
Clap on.
Clapper.
Clap off.
It's the new
clap on, clap off.
Supposedly.
I'm sorry. I had to. Somebody had to do it.
Supposedly, it's the new TikTok. Who knows, right?
I'm still on Space Hay.
I don't know what that is.
They don't even have
It's better than Be Real, whatever that was. But I actually filmed a video the other day with the full intention of putting it on YouTube, not realizing I was filming it vertically. And then I just cut it up into reels and shorts and all that instead. But I'd like to focus on the YouTube channel instead of just posting shorts, try and get some long form, somewhat long form videos on there.
Right on.
Because Pete, 2 minutes is a long time. So
yeah. Danielle. Dan.
I got it. It took a second, but
No, I wasn't talking to you. Now I'm talking to you.
That's a throwback.
Man, 2 minutes. I wish.
So Dan, anyway. Now that all of our income's gone away, what are you doing?
You know what? I don't even know. I don't have a very good answer. I mean, yeah, of course I would like to focus on YouTube, but that does take a lot of time. And I have been super busy with other things, and it's really tough. So I don't have a real good answer. Unfortunately, it's hard to say where you're going to be a couple years from now because things turn on a dime, it feels like. So I don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens and hope for the best.
All these platforms could be gone in a year or two,
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe the clap will be huge. Clapper, I mean.
Clapnificent. Well, obviously, like the one platform that just won't die is YouTube. It's evergreen. People are consistently making money with it. It's the most intimidating one to go into. And that's the one that we're going to try to focus on this year. I know I say it every year and I've failed in the past, but I'm really, really looking to stick
I mean it this time.
I mean it this time. I can stop eating these Cinnabons anytime I want. But we are going to try to focus on YouTube. But I think there's still a lot of value in TikTok if it sticks around, Instagram, Facebook,
sure.
All of those, because not every deal is necessarily like a Instagram reel. Like there's plenty of ways to make money or just get free equipment that you would already need, whether it's consumables or whatever, through brand deals. And bringing on brand deals, I mean, like if we could bring in enough brand deals to do a couple posts a month, whatever, to bring in $2,000 a month, like that changes our entire life, that might not seem like a lot, but like that takes us from being okay to like saving money or something, or thriving or doing an extra project or something. So like it's all these little things that can change the whole picture. So there's obviously affiliate stuff, there's YouTube, but there's all these brand deals. You can work stuff out. You can't ask for money from brands. And the worst thing they could say is no. The best thing they could say, okay, like what's your price? And once they say that, like your foot's in a door, start talking. See if you can lock something down. If they don't like your price, like what are you guys comfortable with? Maybe we can work something out. Maybe we could put it on layaway. Maybe I'll like make some content, but you can't get it till I get paid.
Layaway.
But there is still, I think, a lot of potential with all these brands out there. I mean, there's Snapchat content creators that make money. Like, think about how crazy that is.
It's still a thing. Wow.
It's still a thing,
it is,
dude.
actually.
Open up the App Store on a phone, and like half the time it's some like ad for Snapchat filters or learn how to Snapchat or whatever. It's still a thing. I don't know how. Should be gone by now. Ridiculous.
You just reminded me something when you said Snapchat.
Oh, are you big on Snapchat?
No, I'm not. But like I said back in What's on My Bench, I was working on some newer products, and I'm going to be honest, I utilized ChatGPT to write some of my product descriptions.
And it was great.
And my goodness, they're so good. They're so good. I couldn't not utilize them.
They were gooder and much wow and better than anything we could have written together.
I did this barbecue board for like Father's Day, Dad's type of stuff, and I put a juice groove in it, right? And I didn't say anything about the juice groove when I did the prompt for ChatGPT, and it said something about there being a juice groove in it and it's perfect. And I was like, this thing is so smart. It's crazy.
Stop listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm unashamedly using ChatGPT to write all my product descriptions because it's so great, and it drops so many great like SEO heavy words in there, and it's so eloquent. It's if you're not using ChatGPT, man, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
it's scary good.
You can get it on your phone now. It's an app on your phone now, so super easy. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail that. It just reminded me of that.
You're right. All right. Did we all answer that? What are we doing?
I think so.
Yeah, Lee? Okay. Yeah. All right. Braden's our last one. He's a written in question.
Lee.
Braden. He asks, Lee, what's the story with the music video?
Oh, he's a write-in?
He's a write-in.
I don't need to make a timestamp on that.
Yeah. What's the story with the music videos? What got you started? Why did you get started? And when are we getting WAP, which is warped ass plywood? Give the people what they want. They want WAP.
I forgot he asked that question and I brought it up earlier, but let's talk about that again.
Let's talk about you and me.
Well,
let's talk about WAP, baby.
I talked about the origin story, and I'll reiterate it again. My grandma's number one, so I can't do WAP if grandma's watching.
There's some holes in the house.
Yeah. We're keeping it PG, you know, and the video, the Friday.
She's seen some.
I'm visualizing Grandma getting down to this song.
Like, this is why. This is what bothers me when people are like,
listen,
"Oh, my grandma or my parents or whatever." Like, yo, they've seen some.
No,
yo, Dorothy Ohman is
I wish
a
I had a
saint.
bleep button.
Yeah,
Dorothy. Yeah,
her name is.
They've seen
Marion.
some stuff. They've done some nasty
Ohman
stuff.
Does not know anything about any of that.
All right, fine.
Yeah. Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. Just think of it this way: your parents were born. Stuff had to go down.
Once.
Once through a bed sheet with a hole cut out.
It happened once.
I think that's what the Amish do or something. I don't know. Mennonites.
Does that make it better?
No, I think that's what like the.
I don't want to think about it.
What one of the people do? I don't know.
Love you, Grandma.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
How
all right.
dare you?
I think that is it.
Is that it?
That might be it. Wow.
All right.
What an episode. Lee, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This was much more fun than I had anticipated.
Yeah. I'm glad that Pete talked me into this. It was a good time.
You brought it up, Dan. I'm not taking credit.
Okay.
You brought it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dan brought it up.
Okay.
I haven't brought it up because I'm shy, and I was like,
you're shy.
I don't want to just like recommend my friend. And then Dan was like,
he's my friend too.
Leon? And I'm like,
I've kissed him on the mouth. He's my friend.
Oh, it was awesome. I've been listening for a long time.
Yeah, one of the OGs. Although Danielle did want me to remind you that she was one of the OGs because she used to send us pictures of you sleeping during our lives because we fall asleep watching them.
Well, it is past my bedtime.
So she is the true OG. And
I still have this on my desk.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine's hanging up on my shelf.
Although I will say it has
warped.
Can you see that?
Sun?
No way.
Because it's in the window all the time. That's
no, it's not.
That's why.
Oh, it might.
It used to be behind you, Dan, right?
Yeah, but that's south facing.
See, I should have put.
Or that's north facing. That's north facing. The sun is over there.
I should have put a French cleat on it.
Yeah, you probably should have. There's a keyhole on the back.
There is a keyhole. See?
There's a keyhole.
See?
A sideways
it's all right, Lee.
keyhole.
I still treasure it, whether it warped or not.
Oh yeah. I should have it behind me too. Just
cherry. I think it's cherry, right?
Yeah, mine's cherry.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody
mine's
else.
salmon wood.
Salmon.
Salmon.
I really wanted lace wood, but you take what you can.
I use Rubio cream cheese on that. All right. Anyways.
Yeah, thank you for being on here, Lee.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks to our patrons. Also, always, you guys are the best.
Yes, they are. I thought there was more. Okay, yeah, thanks to our patrons. That was great, Dan. Thanks for leaving that hanging. there's really no better way to say it. It's just thanks to our patrons. And then Dan says wrap it up. So I'm just going to keep rambling.
No, that was my keep it going. Don't just sit there and sigh.
Keep it going. But yeah, thank you so much to our patrons. Thank you to everyone that listens. If you can sign up and help us out through Patreon, we appreciate it. You get some, well, you don't really get the behind the scenes, but you do get all your stuff early, and you get the pre-show directly to your phone as a podcast, which is pretty awesome in case you miss it. And to anyone that isn't willing to sign up or not in a position to sign up, just share the show. Share the show. Leave some reviews. If Grandma falls asleep on the couch, grab her phone, subscribe. That's it. That's all.
Maybe tell Grandma we don't always keep it PG.
Yeah. We keep it clean.
Only.
We keep it clean, right?
Ish.
Yeah.
Depends on who we have on.
Fudge, yeah.
Fudge.
PG for Grandma.
All right.
It's NT-17 at best. All right, thank you guys. We'll see y'all next week. Next week's guest is a surprise. You'll find out Tuesday like you usually do. All right, love y'all. Bye-bye.
Love you long time. Bye-bye.
Bye.